All right, you're on, Ashley.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm Ashley with Stewart Title, the Business Development Officer in Orlando. We appreciate you coming out. We have a great class for you. This is Yvonne Sandoval. She will be taking over from here. If you have any questions, she's the lady.
Thank you, Ashley. So I wanted to say hello to everyone today. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And we are live, also being broadcast on the TED Show. This is Ted Bogert
Hi,
from the TED
guys.
Show. And hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
So I wanted to thank both of them. They're sponsoring this Lunch and Learn today, and I was really grateful for you to ask me to be here. And we're going to be discussing your database. A little bit of background on me and my company is Advantage 80/20, and we are located here in Orlando, and we work solely with real estate agents only. Sole focus is database and database marketing. So really hyper-focused on one thing and one thing only. I come from New York City, as you can tell with my accent. I can't get rid of it. Grew up on Broadway. My family owned a recording studio and grew up with artists and performers my entire life. So that gave me some background on how to sell yourself and how to make sure people know who you are, because you cannot be shy and grow up on Broadway if you want to make a dollar. So that's really where I learned my craft as a child, and then as an adult working in marketing as well. So I'm here to bring some of my background and my knowledge to you to help you to solidify the relationships that you have with, or should have, with your database. That's your core. And for realtors, that is really all you own. When you look at it, that's your business, those people. So we're going to be talking about 36 to convert. It's a method for making those touches to the database over a year's period, making them consistent and purposeful. That's the most important part of the 36 to convert. So we're going to start. Thank you, Virginia. This is Virginia. She is our business operations. And in the back, Johnsy is now in sales with us, sales and marketing. So I wanted to welcome them as well. Thank you for your help. So today we're going to be talking about, are you touching your database? The Dunbar number, it's sort of a scientific marketing number. The database funnel, of course. Why 36 to convert? And then building relationships and creating value. Because we have that word, that buzzword value is very big these days, and we really want to get to the heart of what that means. And then I'm going to give you actually all the components of what a 36 to convert looks like, so you have that at your fingertips and really can just drill down on the specific things that you need. So we're going to go on to the first slide. My first question is, are you being efficient? Do you feel that you're doing everything that you can do to be efficient with your business? I'm very, very visual. So for me, when I look at the first slide, the first slide for me means new leads. New leads, meaning you're pushing the boulder up a very steep hill. A lot of time, money, and energy is being spent. But we know that that's not where your business is going to be coming from, because only 20% of your business is going to come from new leads. So this looks like a lot of sweat, time, energy being spent on the 20% of your business. But if you look at Mr. Monopoly here, he's sitting on his business, his database, sitting on that money. So we say that the 80% of your business is coming from your database. That's really where it comes from. So I ask you once again, there's another click, Julia. Are you purposely, consistently touching your database? So does anyone want to share what they're doing, what their system is presently that is consistently and purposely touching their database? That's working for you. Anyone?
Caveat that that's working for you.
Yeah. So, generally the answer to that is I don't. Yeah. Generally people say that I don't have anything in place. So that's why I want you to have this at your fingertips so you can see what it would look like if you had a system in place. So going on to the next. This is just some stats I wanted to share with you. So an average realtor and this is from the National Association of Realtors. They estimate there are about 2 million active real estate agents in the United States right now. We see the median income was $42,500, which was an increase from the previous year. A typical agent has between about 11 to 12 transactions. It's up from one from the previous year. Most realtors are working 40 hours. In 2016, that was the average. 88% of buyers purchase their home through a real estate agent or broker as well. And we know that FSBOs, I've heard the figure is as high as 93% of FSBOs generally they work with realtors. So there's only 7% that actually do it on their own. So they need you. But when they're, next slide. Wait, I have to ask you, do you want to be the average real estate agent or the super agent? I don't worry about it. So you're going to look at these two slides here. I want you to see that to be the super real estate agent, you have to know what this is. So this, you can click in, is weak ties. Weak ties is opportunity for you. So this goes into what the Dunbar number is. Dunbar is a philosopher back in '92, which is not that long ago. I mean, it seems like it's long ago, but it's really not. Talked about the relationships that we have as individuals with others. So we generally can have a close relationship or a relationship where we know the integration. So like that's Sally, that's Joe is her husband. They have 2 kids. Then we have a coworker and their husband or their wife. So that exponentially grows your sphere. So friends, partners, clients, neighbors, and family make up that 150 number. So what that means to you as a realtor is that if you have, per se, 200 people in your database, each one of those people equals 150 people. Because those people are going to be able to talk about you if you give them something to talk about, to keep you top of mind. So that really just grows your database that you just walked in this room with to a much larger number. I want you to think of it that way because your reach is way farther than you think it is. The next. So these are some statistics we're going to talk about. I'm not really a numbers person as a creative, but I know that I need to show you this because this is just going to show you that spiderweb effect of that Dunbar number. So the average person knows 600 people. Well, we just said 150, now it's at 600. Okay, so Dunbar, 1992, pre-Facebook. Now with Facebook added into the mix, you have 600 people the average person knows. So there goes your database again. It just exploded again. So of those people, 63% of them own a home. The average person buys 5 homes. You likely know 381 homeowners. It just continuously goes on and on and on. And as you see, those 600 people with just 1 degree of separation, that's a Dunbar number, it connects you to potentially 360,000 people. So wow. I mean, your database just blew up. So 1.1 million homes over those people's lifetime. So just tapping into that, just tapping into your database, that's where your heart is. That is what your business is all about. It's looking at all of those people. And by 1 degree of separation, they're going to be speaking about you. So this is where the $1 million question comes in. How to build those relationships, how to get that message out. So 36 to convert, that's what it's going to do. That's your marketing system and method to get that across. There's 3 things that we talk about in marketing that will build and strengthen those relationships. And these are the 3. Top of mind, like, and resonate. So these are the 3 elements we're going to be talking about. I wanted to show you how, if you do it the right way, these 3 things will build your business. So as for top of mind, you can click it again. Top of mind is where, of course, you are the person they think of, the go-to person, the advisor, the expert within your sphere. But how? How does that happen? Well, I ask people this question, the first one is obvious to me. Who comes to your mind if I ask you, Give me a name of an attorney.
Dan Newland.
Dan Newland, awesome. Anyone else? Morgan, yeah, Morgan and Morgan, yeah. They're very different in their marketing styles, very, very different, because they understand the 1/3 rule. The 1/3 is 1/3 of the people will love you, 1/3 of the people will hate you, and 1/3 of the people will ignore you. So they're looking for people that resonate with their message. So with John Morgan, very successful. I have no idea if he's a great attorney or not, no clue. But he's top of mind to most of us because of his marketing efforts, because of him telling story, letting you find the commonality and the familiarity that bind you together. He does not talk about how many court cases he's won or how much money he's gotten for people. That's Dan Newland's thing. What John Morgan does is he lets you into his world. He lets you know what his politics is. He lets you know about his family, his sons, his wife, his dog, everything. All of that is in his commercials. So he speaks to you about something that you're going to find, and one of those things he's talking about, a commonality, a familiarity, which builds trust. You trust him, and then you will work with him. That's how it is with realtors as well. So his business, your business, exactly the same. So we have to build that trust. We do that same way that John Morgan does, by letting people into our world and letting them find commonalities and familiarity. We then become top of mind if we're sharing information with them that they can find those strands. So we go on to the next, which is like. Okay, so I talked about the 1/3 rule. Like, well, yes, 1/3 will love you, 1/3 will hate you, 1/3 will ignore you. So 2/3, just don't worry about them. But if you can concentrate yourself on the 1/3 that do get you, that you do resonate with, what would that do for your business? So likability in the workplace and business correlates to popularity and likability. Kind of sounds like a high school kind of clique thingy, right? But what it comes down to is that there's no school people go to become CEOs. The reason why they move up and they do well in the world is because someone liked them. Someone found something in them that said, you know what, give that kid a chance, or give that person a chance. It was just that, a click. They clicked with you because that person put something out there that let people know about them. So likability comes down to just letting people hear who you are, and if it clicks, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So you're going to be able to, that's why I'm saying new leads, think about how that applies to new leads. People who do not know you, absolute strangers, who came in through some portal, and now you have to get them to like you, trust you, and resonate with them, all within less than 90 days or less than 50 seconds. That is extremely hard. It's a lot of pushing of a rock up a hill. So the database is your easiest bet and your best bet in terms of getting people to work with you and trust you. The next one is, the third is resonate. And everything comes down to resonation. Every commercial we write, every radio ad, everything, print, everything. At the high level, when writing commercials, we know that we're not going to push product, we don't self-promote. What we do is we let people feel something about our product or our service. And this is a people-to-people business, so how someone feels about you is going to completely really determine if they're going to work with you. You all know, you've been on listing presentations. You can walk in, and within the first 7 seconds, because that's the impression time, you will know if that person, you got a fighting chance of working with them. You just do. It's an instinct you were born with. Well, marketers use that. We use that to make sure that we're taking that 30-second commercial, 60-second commercial, 90-second commercial, and making you click with us, because we have the same values as you. We do? Well, we're going to show you that. So I'm going to show you 3 commercials. We're going to talk about genuine versus being forced, then providing value, there's that buzzword again, and self-promotion. Before we go to the 3 commercials I want to show you, because I'm really going to hone in on what I'm talking about, just want to say that John Legary, he's the CEO of T-Mobile, huge, huge, huge. He is beloved by his stockholders. And even though he is very brash, he is kind of strange looking and kind of hard on some people's ears because he does use foul language. But his stockholders love him because he took that company and he tripled their income over the last 4 years. And how he does that is because you can't build a relationship with a company. Okay, you're not going to go around having a feeling about T-Mobile. That's not how it works. But you can have a feeling and a resonation and a relationship with a person. So John puts himself out as a person, not a CEO. And he does a crock pot cooking show every Sunday on Facebook Live. Facebook Live.
Yeah.
So this is something that if John McGarry can do, Ted Bogart's doing, and it really has changed his life, you can do this too. It is a free platform, and he uses it so he can reach the people. Every Sunday, crock pot in his, whether he's in a hotel or he's home, he just does it. Keeps him in front of the people and makes commonality, because all of you like to eat. So he found a common thread. So we're going to play those 3 commercials now.
When it's people who do the right thing, they call it being responsible. When it's an insurance company, they call it Liberty Mutual. Responsibility. What's your policy? Liberty Mutual.
เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวันเขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลยไม่ได้รวยขึ้นไม่ได้ออกทีวีไม่มีใครรู้จักไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้นเพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
ไทยประกันชีวิตเชื่อในความดี
I'm Jamie Foxx for Verizon, the most awarded network ever. In the nation's largest independent study by Reconnect, again, Verizon is the #1 network.
Hi, I'm Jamie Foxx for Sprint. And I'm Jamie Foxx for T-Mobile. And we're just as good.
Really? only Verizon was ranked #1 nationally in data, reliability, text, and call and speed. Yeah. And you're going to fist bump to that? Huh? Mm-hmm. Get out of my peripheral. See, I don't want to see it.
Don't get fooled by cut rate networks. Get the best network in America.
Cool. So, which one was self-promotion? I think that's obvious. It's Verizon. Verizon doesn't need to make you feel anything. There's only 3 carriers, so you're going to pick one of the 3. So they really just coming from that self-promotion. But you'll see a lot of that in real estate. You'll see a lot of that. Look at me, look what I've done, I'm great, congratulate me, blah, blah, blah. Now, for the outsiders, our consumers, that doesn't always resonate. I mean, because it's very much like the Verizon commercial. Difference is that they can choose anybody to work with. There's thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people. So we really need to go and concentrate on the 2 other commercials where you were made to feel something. So the first one is the Pay It Forward campaign. Pay It Forward campaign was very successful for Liberty Mutual. Not at any time do they talk about their product at all. And of course, this is a real estate, insurance company as well, the Thai one. Exactly the same thing, except they went a lot deeper. They made you have a lump in your throat. You had something that you felt. So we do this with commercial. As you can notice, we always put logo at the end. Logo doesn't go in the beginning. There's a formula. Everyone sticks to it. So there are systems and processes and formulas in marketing that you don't reinvent the wheel. This is how it works. So make someone feel something, and they attach the emotion to the logo. So I've also had realtors come to me and say that I'm just starting out, I need help with my logo. I said, logo, put it aside, let's get you some business, let's get people thinking and talking about you. They can't attach anything because you haven't given them anything yet to feel or have any kind of a background to work with. Once you've got that following and that means something, logo can be attached. But that's how your brain works. It's just how your brain works. So we always put it at the end. And we usually do no voiceover, we leave it plain so that the brain can make that attachment. So that is resonation, making you feel something. And we can definitely do that with our clients. Your clients, you can absolutely have that kind of resonation. So going to the next. Now, this is a mentor of mine. I love, love, love him. His name is Gary V. Anyone here familiar with Gary V? Gary Vaynerchuk? He just did a very large agent, I think it was last month, down in Miami, where he had real estate agents for the day and attend and talked about what's going on right now. The thank you economy is huge. He talks about that. He talks about your database, talking about making sure you're making the connections. For people who don't know him, he is a digital marketer. He's in New York City, but he has other offices throughout the country. It's about 900 people right now. I got to change that slide. He hosts a Facebook Live show. That's how he really got to be well known, and it's called Ask Gary V Show. He is prevalent on Instagram. He is all over. Now, he doesn't always talk about marketing. He talks about life and his life and how he's been affected by his experiences and wants to give some of his knowledge back to you. So he wrote a book that I think is really, really important for this industry. And it's Jab, 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 Right Hook. So the jab, jab, jab means value, 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 ask for business. A lot of things that you've been taught or maybe put into practice is ask for business, ask for business, ask for business, give some value. So we just want you to have a difference and change your thoughts. Just change things, the way you look at things. Bringing value to someone is what he does consistently. But how can we do that in our business? Well, we definitely have a platform to do that. And that's going to be through the 36 to Convert. Putting those elements together, you're going to be doing the jab, 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 right hook. But I wanted you to see how he's been asked about jab, jab, right hook and how you can disguise it. So, play the first video.
Best way for a right hook to seem like a jab.
Bill, am I happy with you? Because you've asked a question that means so much to me and is something that so many of you are confused by. Bill, I really appreciate you, and I'm not trying to sting, but it might feel a little like that. Trying to make a right hook feel like a jab is what 99% of salespeople and businesses do that end up failing. It is in the clear honesty and clear track of when I want to do something nice for you, I just do it. A la this show. I just want to take 15 to 20 minutes of my day to now. Come 15 months from now, 18 months from now, whether it's a book, whether it's a seminar, whether it's an event, whether it's me selling rare toys, who knows what it might be, then I will clearly say, buy this friggin' rare toy. It's $9.99, buy it now. But up until that point, I will have very clear, there will be no show where you're watching the show and behind the scenes right now, there's subliminal music pumping, buy the damn cat for $9.99. There is none of that. And so there's a massive confusion in the marketplace, Bill, that people want to disguise the sale, and there is no disguise. Authentically, all in, all of it, all in. Give when it's time to give. On the flip side, there's a crapload of Mother Teresa's and think it's so nice and awesome, and if you're just good, it's good. No, you need to sell. So when you sell, you say, I'm selling. I am selling this, and I feel comfortable. When I put a link out, buy my book. It's out. Buy it. If I've done anything for you, buy it. So, the answer to your question is very simple. There is no version of that. That is a losing mentality and execution, and I highly recommend that you take it and you split it very hard apart, where the jabs are clear and where the right hooks are clear.
So the jabs being the value, the right hook is they ask for business. So you're absolutely going to be asking for business. You have to. That's how you pay your bills. But if you're bringing the value, and he does a Facebook Live show, so yes, he's bringing value to his audience, and then when he asks you to pay $1,800, $2,100 to go to his Miami event, you go, and you spend the $2,100. Because, of course, he has brought so much to my world, I find what he has to say valuable to my business. There's always something insightful. When he does ask, exactly, there you go, there's your business. So, same thing with realtors. Be a resource, be a value, giving them constantly. Don't expect anything. This is not now business. Database is, this is the long term. This is the marathon, right? So it's about getting those people the things that they need. The things that they need for their Wednesday. They may not be in the market to buy or sell right now. So if we continuously send them marketing materials that talk about the market, homes, I don't know, fresh paint on the walls and how to make curb appeal, when they're not looking to buy or sell, that doesn't make you top of mind. They need something for their Wednesday that they're going to go talk to their friends, family, partners, coworkers in the Dunbar circle. You have to give them something like that. Okay? So remember, the people in your database are not in the market themselves to buy or sell. Their friends, family, and coworkers might be, but how do we get them to even talk about you, period? Bring them value for their Wednesday. And that's what Gary was talking about. The next thing that he's going to talk about is something that's huge for realtors. You have, and you should have, a top 25 or a top 50 people in your database. Comb through them. Go through your database. This is a really good focus work assignment. Go through and find those people who have referred you business, will refer you business because they're your biggest fans, or have previously worked with you in the recent year or two. Those people should be on your top 25, top 50 list. I have a realtor with the top 100. Those people are super essential to your business. They are ready to be your mouthpiece, and they have been your mouthpiece. So those people are going to be the people I want you to focus on, because he's talking about in this next clip how they still have a wine store. His parents came here when he was 11 as a Russian immigrant and opened a little wine store in Short Hills, New Jersey. When Gary went off to college in the early 90s, email and email campaigns were just something very, very in its infancy. He took that new technology and also YouTube and put value out to these people that were in his dad's his Rolodex or catalog. Sending out those materials, he grew that company from $3 million to $60 million in 5 years by giving them value. So he talks about here how by taking those top 25 or top 50 people, I want you to apply it to your business. If you go onto their Twitter, their Facebook page, you can find out what's going on in their lives and send them something that's relevant and timely, or even just a note, or if it's a little trinket or something, that can really blow up for you in a good way. So he's talking about how that happens in his wine store. He still has the wine store, believe it or not. Why get rid of it? So he's talking about something that they did in the wine store. Okay.
The guy bought a $117 case of Pinot Grigio, right? So $10 a bottle of Pinot Grigio. I go on his Twitter account on his flight, and all he's tweeting is the following: Jay Cutler, I love you. Jay Cutler, you're the best. Jay Cutler, I'm mad at you. He's a huge, for those that don't know, Jay Cutler is and was at the time the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, right? So he's talking about Jay Cutler. So I call my point person back to the store. I said, look, I want you to go to eBay, and I want you to buy him a signed Jay Cutler jersey, which was like $350, much more than the 8% profit we made on the $111 case of Pinot Grigio. And I want you to send a note in there and say, thank you for your order, thanks for shopping Wine Library. So great, so I send it. And then 3.5 weeks go by and nothing happens. And I'm like, this son of a gun is really not going to acknowledge this random kindness. So, we sent out some other stuff, and then out of nowhere, I'm ironically, I'm about to take stage at a talk in Las Vegas, and I get a phone call from Kristen, and she goes, I mean, she hasn't called me yet. She works in the thank you department. She doesn't really need me. She's only to call me about these couple of things we sent out. And I pick up the phone, I go, you got something? She goes, kind of. I go ahead. She goes, I want to read you the order we just got. So she reads off this order, and how many people here are into wine? Great, wow, amazing. So this person orders $4,800 worth of high-end red Burgundy. Coach de Rey, like Dujac, like real stuff for the real nerds in here. Anyway, and here's what the comment box said. It said, hey, my name is Craig. I want you to know, you guys sent my friend John a Chicago Bears jersey, and he told me the story, and that's how I found out about you. P.S. You have great prices on red Burgundy. P.S.S. I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. The punchline of that story is you guys are curating events and experiences that really matter. People today, more and more, as time goes on, are sharing more and more information about themselves. We can cry about privacy, but every day we prove with our actions that we don't care, right? And really, there's a much more fascinating debate over that, which is that people are inherently good. The mainstream media just talks about the small 1% of that, and that's why we share our privacy. Your ability to know a lot more about the people that are coming to these events is far greater than you may believe. And that if you actually put the time to understand who that is, I promise you this, that if I came to one of your events as a top seller or executive, and I walked into my hotel room, and instead of a fruit basket or a bottle of wine or a nice welcome note, that there was a New York Jets hat, that wouldn't matter to me, because that would show the thing that matters more than anything, which is intent and effort.
Intent and effort. So that's what it's all about. You have these client appreciation events, at least you're supposed to have 2 a year. When you're doing those, I want you to think about that. You also have the availability of going on your top 25, top 50 onto their Facebook page. Make sure you're Facebook friends with them. You're going to make a call to them? Well, go onto their Facebook page before you make that call so that you have something to talk about, that you can directly see that you are interested in their lives. So he's saying the New York Jets hat would be significant to him. It's because the whole world knows, if anyone knows Gary Vee, he wants to buy the Jets. That's his goal. He's put his goal out there. He's only got $200 million right now of net worth, so he can't buy the Jets, but he wants people to know that's his goal. So that hat would mean that you're in touch with him, that you care about him and his goals and his wants. You can absolutely do that with your top 25 or top 50 people. So that's the higher level touches is what we're talking about. Higher level touches for those people who are going to build your business. So we're going to go on to the next. Anyone have any questions about that? Okay. So the question is, why 36 to convert? Well, systems, processes, and automation. Everyone knows that's how Gary got his business to where it is today. It's because they put systems in that we're automatically sending people touches. Those touches kept them top of mind, and because of that, a little wine store in Short Hills, New Jersey went from 3 million to 60 million. There was other competitors out there, but by touching them consistently, purposefully, with a system, providing them timely and relevant, valuable content. So absolutely kept them top of mind. We can do that as well. We just have to change a little bit of our focus for our database. Buyers and sellers are not the same as your database. Buyers and sellers are in the marketplace right now. They got their hand raised. They want to be buying and selling a home right now. Your database? Nope, they're not. So we have to make sure that things that we're sending our database is different skewed than the buyer and seller materials. So, but today's focus is that database. Okay? So we're going to go on to the next, talking a little bit more about the 36 to convert. The content. Content is king. I had this conversation the other day with someone about, I asked, are you using a CRM, and does your CRM provide you marketing materials? Does everyone here have a CRM in place? And it's got like some generic stuff in there, and you can click a box, and it can automatically send out stuff for you. That's generally how it goes. So, it's not personalized, and when I say personalized, I don't mean it puts your name on it. That's not personalized. What I mean is does it magnetize your audience? Does it bring them closer to you? Do they get to know who you are and get to build a relationship with you? Because this is your voice going out. This is your business. So you have absolutely total control out of what is coming out of the communications coming out of your business. Complete control, except if you click that box and don't even read any of the materials that are going out. So I've had that happen where people are going into their CRM, clicking the box, and this generic stuff is going out, the same as the other people who are also signed up for that same CRM. So people are opting out. They're opting out because those things written in those CRMs are not there to magnetize your audience. They're not there to build a relationship. They're just placeholders. It's really up to you to take the reins of your business, and anything that comes out represents you fully, 100% you. So we're going to talk about exactly how that looks. The next slide. Capturing the gap. So absolutely, the biggest missed opportunity in your business is what we've been talking about all day, is that database. So what percentage of buyers and sellers would use you again when they're asked at their closing table, would you use this realtor again? And the answer is 75% say yes. It varies, 75, 78, but it's a high number of people. Absolutely, I had a fantastic, experience. This is my favorite realtor. But when it comes down to it, what amount of people actually do use you again? So NAR tells us it's 17%. So something happened. Something happened. Did it something you did? No, you didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't do anything. So I've also heard, well, I'm doing something rather than nothing. That's your choice, to run your business that way, to do something rather than nothing. But I would prefer, this is how I like to do things. I like to do things that if I'm going to do it, I'm going to put some money into it, I'm going to have an ROI. Well, I'm going to do some ROE. I'm going to talk about that as well. So I know the answer to the bottom question is generally no, that you're not capturing or trying to capture repeat business and referral business by doing everything you can. So we're going to go on to the next, which is going to be the ROE. So the effect of ROE. So your effort, and that's what Gary was talking about, is really about effort, not so much money, because how much money did it take really to have somebody go on and follow somebody on Twitter? It doesn't cost anything, right? Facebook Live doesn't cost anything. So these are things that your tools that it only comes down to your effort and how much involvement you are in your business. So we know from statistics that the 36 to convert, the system and the process of 36 touches over 12 months to your database is going to reasonably net 2 sales for every 12 people that you are touching consistently with purposeful and magnetizing content. So 12 people being marketed to, 12, that's 12. And then 2 people will convert to business. That's going to be from repeat business and referral business. Does anyone know what the figure is with new leads? What the conversion rate is?
3%.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard 100 to 1. So for every 100 people you're marketing to, one person might turn into business, what should turn into business. So a 12 to 2 ratio makes a lot more sense. And we're sitting on that. So we want to make sure that we're marketing to your database. If you had 300 people in your database, and we're using these 12 to 2, we're looking at 50 net sales per year simply by touching those people in your database 36 times. So I had an agent the other day say to me, well, I don't want to do, that's too many, 36 is too many. I want to do 12. I want 1 a month. Absolutely. You can do whatever you like. 1 a month, but we know we have science behind this because marketing is a science. We know that 36 works. So if you want to do 12, well, I don't want to be intrusive. I don't want to be, it's all about content. If your content magnetizes as timely and relevant, people don't opt out. They want to hear more from you. So we'll go to the next slide. These are the components. This is what you have in front of you as the components of a 36 to convert. These items make up the entire year. So you have 12 just sold, and the just sold, I always talk about this first because I find that it doesn't bring value. So it doesn't really fit the Gary V formula. It's not a jab, put it that way. The 12 just sold means 1 per month. At the end of the month, I do this on the 28th. That's the date I do it, because only 28 days in February. So on the 28th of the month, a just sold will go out to your database, and what it does is it lets people know that you're an active agent. It shouldn't be self-promotional, okay? It's just letting them see the consistency of message, meaning they're always going to get it on the 28th. They're going to see that you're active. If you didn't have a home sold that month, you could use a home from a previous month. You could use one that's public, they're all public record once they're sold, maybe as an agent in your office, and you could credit that agent, but you're not saying you sold it, you're just saying this just sold. So that is really just gives you legitimacy, lets people know, they hear from you, it's a touch. There's a way of making it a bit valuable and really not self-promotional, but letting people into your world, and I'm going to show you how to do that. The next thing you're going to send out, this is bi-monthly, 2 emails. Bi-monthly. The second email goes out in the beginning of the month, about the first week to the beginning of the second week, and it's that buzzword, value content. So the value content for this 36 to convert is letting people into your world. They're going to know about your hobbies, your feelings on a particular subject. Maybe there's a charity that you work with. There could be any number of things, but the things that you want to bring to people have to relate to you. So I always have people asking me, I don't know what my audience is going to want to hear. That's not, the question isn't what they want to hear. It's about what you want to share. So you have to go into yourself and say, well, what do I want people to know about me? Now, a lot of us don't like to talk about ourselves. That's fine. But if you could focus maybe on to the teacher of the year, you become the local expert. You go and you interview that person. You could do that on video, which is the second thing we're going to talk about. Or you could do it just by interviewing them personally one-on-one. Maybe there's a restaurant you've been going to and you've lived in this particular area for 25 years. And this great family-run operation. You want to have showcase this restaurant. Talk about that. My family on Sundays loves to go to Mama Bella's after church on Sunday. It's something that we do as a family. It's our only time during the week when we can just get together and I don't have to cook and I can just be with my family. You talk about that because that is familiarity. Others who are reading it say, oh, she's just like me. Or I've been looking for a great Italian restaurant. And so this is where we look into the clouds and we see faces. And there's a reason for that. Our brains are always searching for something of commonality. So that is what has to be expressed through you just telling your story, just letting people into your world. It's as simple as that. So, but of course, you want to bring them value. So if you have a list of preferred vendors, people that you work with, people that your audience could absolutely need, like a handyman or anything. I mean, it could be a local baker who will make beautiful cakes. Share that information. Get that out there. You just don't know how you're going to touch someone's life by letting people into your world. So that's the second email that goes out. Valuable content, emotional, make it thematic, educational, inspirational, informational, absolutely. Just kind of, I want you just to think about not sending market, data, real estate all the time, because the thing is that the one thing you and your audience separates you is that they're not realtors and you are. And if you consistently talk about that which makes you different, is where you're going to get the opt-out. Talk about that which makes you the same. So the common things that go on in people's lives. An anti-bullying, I had a client who did an anti-bullying email talking about what happened to her daughter in school and how she sought out these particular organizations for help. Sharing that kind of information, I mean, everyone has kids. So there you go, commonality. Second thing that you're going to alternate, so you have 2 emails, just sold, then you have your value content. Every other month, instead of the value content, this is your opportunity to send video. Video is huge. We have a 30% open rate with video. It's super important. But it's also your commercials, if you think about it, without being self-promotional. So letting people see you and hear you is essential to building a relationship. It's right. It's like if you never see somebody, you forget what their face and their voice, you forget them. Video is your choice to do. Some people say, I don't like the way I look on video. I don't feel comfortable. It's talking to an inanimate object, like this phone. And I'm just talking to it as if I'm talking to Ted. So it's going to take you time to get used to talking to an inanimate object, although I think all of us have been known to talk to ourselves and walk around the house saying, what did I come in here for? Cannot remember. So yes, it's just a matter of putting that phone up and doing it on the phone. As you can see, Gary Vee, he has plenty of money, but instead of having a studio, he just sits in his conference room or his office and throws on a phone and just goes for it. And he's constantly mobile, so he's always on his phone doing video. Same thing for you. Authentic, genuine. Just be like the people. You don't need green screens. You don't need all of that to connect on a human level. You just have your tool is your phone. So video content will go out. 2 minutes, no more than 2 minutes. Talk about something that happened in your day. Talk about something inspirational. Don't be, obviously you don't want to talk about anything depressing. It doesn't have to be real estate related, once again. Maybe you went to Chick-fil-A and the person in front of you paid for you, so you had one of those pay it forward moments, and then you paid for the people behind you, and you want to share that. You just want to talk about, I had this great experience today. That human interest story that the news has been using forever, since news has been on television, same thing. Human interests. This is a human, people-to-people business. That resonates on a very high level. Then, so those are your two emails that are going out. Then alternate during the year, I want you to do 4 holidays and 4 holidays only. That's it. So you're just going to scatter them through the 12 months. 2 traditional holidays that speak to you, something that makes sense to you. So if your really important thing for you is Thanksgiving, you want to talk about being grateful, you're grateful for your clients, you're grateful for the list of things, that's a great thing to do because lists are big. You would definitely want to do the Thanksgiving if that resonates with you. There's a family tradition you want to talk about. Bring people into your world. The more they know you, the more they trust you, the more they work with you. The other thing you can do when it comes to the holidays is I'd rather you do 2 traditional and then 2 non-traditional. If you could do 4 non-traditional, it'd be even better. So 2 non-traditional meaning something like October 11th, Batman Day. Everyone knows about Batman Day, right? Okay. Well, one of my agents, he's a single father, and he plays with his son, Batman, around the house. They wear capes, and that's one of their favorite things to do. So what do? They play Batman. That's his favorite character. So for Batman Day, we send out a holiday email. It's talking about, did you know today is Batman Day? And then we wrap it in story. Wrap it all about Luke and his son. And with a name like Luke, got to do Star Wars reference. So May 4th, May the 4th be with you, is an actual holiday on May 4th. It's a Star Wars holiday. So when people receive these things, they receive them at a time when they're not getting inundated by Michaels and Payless and all the other people out there, Old Navy, wishing them a happy, whatever, 4th of July or Memorial Day or whatever. This makes you stand out. They're receiving it when they're not expecting it. So those holiday emails, essential. So think outside the box. We had National Pie Day last Thursday. So that was that's something you could put out there. We just want to get people to talk about you. They go to work and they say, did you know today's Batman Day? Did you hear that? From my realtor, organic conversations happen from that. So you just want to get people to talk about you. Then we're going to talk about, these are just emails. So you have the two that go out bi-monthly. Then you have the holidays we sprinkle in for. Now, that top 25, top 50, this is what we're talking about. This is the higher level touches. So they get everything as well, but they're going to get a higher level touch. 4 greeting cards, physical, tactile, in the mail, greeting cards, and then postcards. Greeting cards, once again, 2 traditional, 2 non-traditional holidays. They're going to receive a card. Now, a birthday to me is not a touch because it gets lost in the sauce. That's what I call it. A birthday is, if you're going to do that, birthday should be done on Facebook because when you post a happy birthday to someone, everybody else sees that you posted that. So that works to your advantage, that other people see that you're wishing that person a happy birthday. Also, Facebook reminds you that a week prior that this person's birthday is coming up. Facebook also tells you that morning that person's birthday. And then they remind you again, did you post for that person's birthday? Do the birthdays on Facebook. I don't think greeting cards resonate at a high level any longer. So that's where it's at. So the greeting cards, once again, 2 traditional holidays that resonate with you, make sense to you, wrap in story. And then I don't want them to be advertising. Put a logo on the reverse side of the card. That's my recommendation. Not inside the card, the back side of the card. Want people to, they're really, consumers are very savvy and they know when advertising is not real sentiment. So when Gary was saying be all in, wish somebody a happy holidays for real because you're not looking for anything from them. Don't ask for referral, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, and then referral. Does that, you can hear where that's not genuine, and we have opportunities, only 4, to do that, to be from the heart. You have the rest of the year to be asking for that, with that right hook, asking for business. So take sentiment and be sentimental. Then postcards, 4 postcards only. Those postcards are not farming your area. It's not about it just sold. It's not about a house. It's about you. It's about things that make sense to you. Maybe you have some books that you've read that you'd like to share, so you can put those books and the author and the titles on there, maybe how they affected your life. You can put some inspirational quotes from some of your favorite mentors onto these postcards. You have a great graphic on there, so somebody would like to keep the card, maybe put it on the refrigerator. These are the kinds of things let people know, I'm thinking about you, you mean something to me, here's some value to your Wednesday. Okay, so those postcards go out 4 times a year. Then we talked about having client events. Okay, so 2 client events a year. Those client events are to be for the top 25, top 50 people. Now, has anyone done client events here? Cool, what'd you do?
We've taken over restaurants and had people out. We've done boxes at the Amway for the Magic.
Cool.
We take people to Dr. Phillips to see shows, just one-on-one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the best bet is for you to do it all at one time with all the group together so that they can talk amongst themselves about you. Bring them someplace that you enjoy going to because you're bringing them into your world. So for us, my business partner and myself, we met in a bar. He's from the UK, and we like to play darts, and that's how we met. And that's where we would have our client events, would be either at a bar like that, or we have sometimes we have it at the Citrus Club, because I hang out at the Citrus Club a lot. So I bring them to where I like to be, into my world. And then the thing is that you have sponsors who would love to help you to pay for these events. So your mortgage companies, your title companies, would absolutely reach out to them. They want to help you to pay for these events. I had a class where I taught, and a guy told me he made $100 on the event because they overestimated, I guess, and they were already paid by 4 sponsors. They had 4 who paid for their entire event. So that was quite a good thing. I don't recommend movie theaters, because obviously, and also maybe the plays, because you don't get the time to talk to people sitting in a dark room watching a movie.
How long would the event be?
The event can be 2 hours, is what we say. Yeah, cocktail and hors d'oeuvres. It's just to get people out for the night. It's not a sit-down dinner or anything like that.
What day of the week?
Usually it's Wednesdays, Thursdays.
Say.
Wednesdays or Thursdays. Usually the weekends are taken up. Fridays, are very precious. Thursdays has been, for us, the majority of our clients do Thursdays. So that seems to work. And we also do a 3-2-1. So 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, and 1 week out, sending invites. And then the biggest part of this is the people who don't come, you need to reach out to them and tell them they were missed. That resonates much higher than just the invitation alone. So the people who are missed. Very important. And then the last part of this is what we all should be doing, is doing our Reconnect calls using a system and process. We use what's called a never-ending referrals process, which would be 13-week cycles of calling through your database using the census figures, which means that we call A and W names the first week, B and E the second week, D and O the third week, H and V the fourth week. Because the census tells us that people with A names and W names are about the same in terms of numbers. And then we just work through that. And so we have these figures, and we put that into time blocking. So making sure that you have a day of the week where you have time blocked every day, but after 6 weeks it becomes a habit, that you're making these calls consistently and purposefully meaning you can refer back to your marketing materials. When you make the phone call, people love to give their input, so you can ask them, oh, I see, Tuesday you'll know that you had sent an email out if you're working this system, and then you can make the phone call and say, oh, did you receive my email on Tuesday? I just wanted to see how you liked it, want to get your feedback. People love to be asked for their opinion. So you're not opening with just about real estate. You're actually looking into their world, being curious, staying in discovery, and having a genuine conversation about the materials that you sent out. It might be a charity that you worked with. We have an agent whose husband flies, he's a pilot, and he helps with rescue animals. It's called Paws for Pilots, or Pilots for Paws, right? Pilots for Paws, with Claire? So Pilots for Paws is a rescue.
One of the ways.
Yeah, I think that's what's the way, yeah. It sounds better if I think Pilots for Paws. So, yes, so she sent out an email about that, and one of her friends opted out, unsubscribed. So Claire, if you know Claire, she picks up the phone and she goes, what's going on? Why are you opting out? That was about Pilots for Paws, my charity with my husband. She goes, oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was like it's what I usually get from realtors. She goes, no, go back and I'm going to put you back in. She goes, okay, put me back in. And then she said, oh, I'm so sorry. It was something that she supports. She actually supports Pilot for Paws. But sometimes we get into being so used to receiving things that are not valuable that we just delete them, or we move on, or we opt out. So we need to capture. So that subject line is super important as well. That's a whole class we could teach just about subject line, because that's talent. That's hard. So the next thing, we're just going to show you exactly the breakdown. So this just sold. Here's a just sold. Logo, it's great. Simple photo, simple details, because nobody's going to, what are they going to do with this? What does this do for their day? Not much. But we can make it helpful to our business if we include our mission statement. Because everybody in this room has a mission statement, right?
Yes.
Cool. Mission statement's super important. It lets you know why you get up every day, and also lets when you grow and you have a team, let those people know that why you're doing what you're doing, and your clients know what your big why is. So you can put that on a just sold. Now you're communicating something of value. Communication is what this is all about. So this particular realtor, it says, it is my mission to aspire and inspire individuals to see beyond their limiting beliefs and discover their true potential in life and business. So it says nothing about real estate. So he added, as your trusted real estate advisor. But honestly, he didn't need to have that in there, because simply, I'm here to aspire and inspire you. I'm here to let you see beyond your limiting beliefs and discover your true potential. So if he doesn't want to be a realtor anymore, he still has mission in life. He still put it out there. So that's something that I want you to consider. Having a mission statement, putting it on your marketing material. A lot of the large, Tim Heil and Kristen Cole, people like that, they have their mission statement on all of their materials, including the listing presentation. So you can be doing this consistently and purposefully by putting it out in your emails. And then having a tagline, serving your needs means utilizing professionalism and integrity to be your trusted advisor. Please feel free to call, email, or text me. I am here to assist you. That's it. So there's no referral thing on there. It's implied. But this is, remember, the database is softer touch. So that's the next. That's what you see next. The next slide is going to be value content. Well, value content kind of has a formula to it. So graphic has to tell the story, because sometimes people are not going to read, or we want to inspire them to read. So the graphic has to be really sharp. People are not going to read an email without a graphic. Then we have a topic, and then we have some copy. Lists are huge. So in this case, we did lists of quotes, because we're talking about inspiration and words that make up our world. So the component is story, then we have some lists of quotes, then we have engagement. This is a communication, right? We're communicating with our audience. So these are just 4 of my favorite quotes from 4 prominent leaders that mean a lot to me. But I truly want to know what quotes are your favorite. Post on my Facebook page and I'll select one random winner to win a mystery prize. Inspiration cultivates creation, and may the power of words grant you all the wisdom the world has to offer. A mission statement tagline. Then compliancy. If you're not using a CRM and you're using your Gmail account, you're not compliant. You need to use a compliant platform, whether it's Constant Contact, MailChimp, something that has an opt-out button. So you can't be sending marketing materials through your Gmail account. It has to be through a platform. You could have it obviously directed through your Gmail, but it can't be from your Gmail account. So this is a realtor who is put in 36 to convert into his business and posted on Facebook what happened to him when he did it. Something happened. So he wrote this on Facebook. That moment when you finally start keeping in touch with your past clients and your database the way you should. And it blesses you way more than money ever could. So he received this email from a client. Hi Malcolm, I don't know if I'm on your general mailing list or if you specifically included me in sending this email. But in either case, I was happy to hear from you. In case I need to refresh your memory, I am Jeff's mom. You helped us find Jeff a condo 3 years ago, and then he passed away from brain cancer about a year after that. Anyway, I have very high regards for you. I think you are a very special young man. I do think of you often. I really love the email you sent, and it is very thought-provoking. I am still processing it mentally, and I can't really say what I liked best. Anyway, I hope to continue to hear from you. Continue to be the wonderful man that you are. Best wishes always in Christian love, Patty. That's Jeff's mom. This is what he received from a client who didn't even realize if she was on a general mailing list or if she was specifically given this email. She says she wants to hear from him as much as possible. She thinks of him often. Wow. How? How did that happen? Something resonated, made her feel something, changed her Wednesday. That's what he sent down. That's the email. So Malcolm, a little background about him. Malcolm is a young man in the 30s, community leader, church, very active in church, has a youth basketball program for the underprivileged. He is in the Young Presidents Organizations. He's just highly involved in his community. He talks about, in his email campaign, we talked about his church, the Green Church. We talked about his basketball outreach program. Talked about a lot of things that he's involved with in his community in Gainesville. He's in Gainesville. So that's what he put out there. He just put his heart and soul into what he's telling his database, his audience. So where does strength come from? It's just a Gandhi quote that took Gandhi, and Gandhi is one of his mentors, so he's sharing the mentor that he loves. I'm always returning to great quotes for guidance in my life. Gandhi is always proving to provide wonderful wisdom that helps enlighten the world around me. Here are some quotes from him to help you and whatever endeavors you seek to accomplish. And then we just listed 10 of Gandhi's most famous quotes. What's your favorite? Let me know, and I'll keep a tally to see which is most popular. This is the engagement. Remember Strength, true strength, comes from within. This resonated with many people. Now, of course, Jeff's mom is talking to everybody about it. And his mission is to activate and cultivate relationships through connective care, motivating and expanding the lives of those in the community he shares, helping you achieve your goals. If you can't get a sense of who this man is from just this one communication, then I don't know. But he had 6 of them. So he had 6 of these go out, 6 things that brought you into Malcolm's world. Then he had 6 videos, and then he had his holidays. All of these things get a complete picture of who Malcolm is. And if you want to work with him, is he your kind of person? Is he do you feel something for this person? That's what your communications can be so powerful when you let people in. So the next one, video content. Virginia, the video plays upside down, so we're gonna probably skip this one. I don't know why. So 6 videos. This is where I interviewed an agent. So my audience, my database is realtors. So how am I going to bring value to my database? I'm going to interview realtors who want to share their wisdom and their insight of how they've grown their businesses so that I can help you. So I interviewed an agent who talks about 2 things. I said, give us 2 things. I got 2 minutes. 2 things, 2 minutes. Talked about bunkering. They talked about time blocking. So bunkering for him, he has a 9-person team. They sold about 120 homes last year. He's the CEO. He's 25. So you know he's great. You know Christian. He's amazing. So what he does, he puts on noise-canceling headphones, and he calls it bunkering. And it means just focusing on what he has to do in front of him, and he time blocks for that as well. So it's just a method that he's put in place in his business that helps him and helps get things expedited as a CEO. So these are things I wanted him to talk to about to my database. So we did. We put in the subject line the word video interview with, and I can't remember exactly what we wrote, but it was capturing, but the word video itself must be in the subject line. People love to open a video email. Also, inspirational. Talk about your passions. Talk about your hobbies. People will get to know you more the more they see you, the more they hear you. So that is your opportunity with video. And the next one is the 4 greeting cards. So I talked about having some non-traditionals. This particular agent, as you can see, no logo. This is real sentiment. His picture is there because we want people to see our face. Also, Christmas cards. Have you ever got Christmas cards with like their photo of a family or the dog in front of the... Well, what do you do with those at the end of Christmas?
You throw it.
Who said that?
Me.
You throw them away?
Yeah.
You throw people away?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay. You're one of the few people that says they're going to throw them away. They generally do. It's okay. Oh, no, it's fine. I'm not saying it. But the majority of people feel bad. That's why we put our picture. This is why we put our picture on business cards. Because, right. This is a psychological thing. We do this not because, it's the thing to do. We do it for a reason. I will not tend to throw people in the garbage. It's okay if you do.
No judging.
Yes. I'm not judging.
I'm not judging.
It's just unusual that we do that. So, but that's why we put our face on cards. We put them on our business cards. So this is sentiment. It's Happy National Grandparents' Day. His niche, he only works with the senior citizens. That's the only person he works with. So he's got cultivated a database of just senior citizens. He does seminars about not only about real estate, but wills and life estates and other things to help them. He brings value to them every month. So we did it to non-traditional card, Happy Grandparents' Day. Talks about how he remembers stories of his grandparents. See, story. So super important. So he talks about that. So when people come into his world and he sees that he's talking to the people about things that are important to him, brings them into their world. 2 traditional holidays in the greeting cards, top 25 only, top 50. You hold on to your money. But you could also do an honor card. So the next slide, this is the honor card. So you want to give a gift to your client and give them a greeting card, you can do it all in one. Honor cards, St. Jude's Hospital, just one of the organizations out there, but St. Jude's will do a Valentine's Day card or a Christmas card, Happy Holidays, for you. They will send it out to your database. All you have to do is have an Excel spreadsheet. You go onto St. Jude's website, and you just upload it. They will mail out honor cards to your top 25 or your top 50 for you for a donation amount. There's no set amount. You just give them a donation. So this helps, obviously, the children of the hospital. They will also put the recipient's name on the interior of the card, and they will also put your message, a personalized message, in the card too, on top of that. Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. So it's a donation that's been made in your honor, helps to give our precious children a second chance at life. Their name will be there, and then your personalized message. So super easy. They have great customer service, and it lets people receive a gift as well as see what your values are, what you believe in, how you're helping community. So it's something you can do. Like I said, it's nominal, very, very inexpensive, but you're also, it's a charity, so you can write it off your taxes. But there is a win-win-win for everybody. So that's something, if you don't like this organization, or doesn't resonate with you, greatnonprofits.org. You can go there, and they'll have lists of other organizations. We've done Save the Oceans organization for one of our realtors who is he's Australian and he's a diver. That resonates with him. Tells people that he's a diver. Once again, familiarity, and also builds bonds. And the next one is the postcards. So postcards, once again, 4 throughout the year, value content, life hacks, giving household tips. I had an agent who was completely holistic, talked about cleaning her home with natural products that either you can make yourself, or the one product you can buy where you can get organic. So we put those tips on the card because it resonates with her. It's about her. This particular husband and wife team, they love to take their children to the beach. So they put in 10 beach hacks, 10 things that people there's really some really good ones here. They use a fitted sheet to create a box to lay in. It's pretty cool. So that's letting them into their, yeah, it was pretty good. Letting them into their world. That's what it's about. And you're bringing value to a person's entire summer. And this can maybe, the graphic has to be something that's interesting to look at. The next thing is going to be the face-to-face events. Now, they don't have to cost anything. You can glom onto something that's already going on in your community. Wine Down Wednesdays down in downtown Orlando. You can invite people to that. You can buy their bracelets so that they can have wine on you. This is a wine walk that happens to be in Avalon Park. This particular agent just says, come to the wine walk, and come to my office first. So he gets them into the office. He gives them the bracelet, has a little cheese and crackers waiting for them, has some one-on-one time with his database, and then they are free to go out and tour Avalon Park and have a little wine at each location. Gives them a map and a little takeaway as well. So these are things that don't have to cost a lot of money. They just have to have some thought put into them. And this is something that builds those people to be more connected to you. So it could be a charity event. It could be a give back where you're collecting items for Toys for Tots. Have an event built around that. Okay? And you can bring the family into, of course. You can have a bouncy house, things like that, of course. Reconnect calls, essential. That you're calling through your database, like I said, with a system 4 times a year to everybody in their database. Having those, I tell people to change it up a bit. Calls the first 13 weeks. Second 13 weeks, use Facebook Instant Messenger, because when you're friends with people on Facebook, number one, if you're using the Instant Messenger to send them a message, it tells Facebook's algorithms that you and that person are one-on-one friends. Because of that, your posts will now be in their news feed. Whereas before, if they weren't interacting with you, your posts weren't being seen. So it was all for naught. So use that Instant Messenger to get yourself seen by your friends, your database. So alternate that with calls, and then of course text messaging. So third 13 weeks, you can text message people. They may be more receptive to that. Then of course go back to phone calls. Nothing really replaces that speaking to someone on the phone. Okay, so make that a priority of doing the Reconnect calls, 13-week cycle. And I think we have the last thing. Is just a database funnel. It's just talking about how this works. General public now is in your database because you've had a conversation with them. They know you're a real estate agent because of your marketing efforts. Would they use you? Just because you had a conversation. You've had the conversation through those communications that we've been talking about all day. that gets you into that, would they use you? How do they know you? Through your marketing. Have they used you? Yes, they've used you, and now they're referring you a customer, or they or themselves have been a customer, and that closes business. So that funnel is really, really clear, just how people trickle down, and how that communication is essential to getting that business. And I think that is it. Anybody have questions? I'm here for you.
I do.
Yeah.
With the postcards, obviously that's not part of the package and we pay extra for, but how do you manage it? Through what system? Is it something we have to create, or do you do that?
Well, if there's certain CRMs out there that are Coldwell Banker uses, and also Keller Williams agents use, it's called Market Leader. So Market Leader has everything in one place. So postcards, greeting cards all go out automatically to your recipients. So those can be personalized and sent out. So that's one way of doing it. There's other companies that we can pre-order the cards, and then you still have to mail them out yourself, right? Is that the,
yes.
What's the name of the companies that you're using?
There's actually 4 different companies that I had. Some of them can be linked up to different databases. If you already have like Follow Up Boss, I can link in certain, it's called, why am I drawing a blank?
That Amazing Mail, or?
Yeah, Amazing Mail, and then there's one other that links up to that. So they can actually use your app, pull their addresses from there. But there's also a program, it's called Canva, and you can pre-order it from there, and they're actually relatively inexpensive as well. So, and they have some awesome products.
Some of the CRMs that are out there, like Conversion and others, don't have an IDX integration with any other vendors. So you're limited to just using the CRM as a CRM and not for marketing. So there are other companies like Follow Up Boss who have IDX, which basically means it's a contractual agreement that will work together, and we allow you to have access to our database. So companies like Follow Up Boss have that, where we can integrate another vendor and have those cards produced automatically. So it's just a matter of what your CRM you're using, how we can make it work for you. But there's just some CRMs, like I said, the Coldwell Banker CRM and the Market Leader, which is Keller Williams. So you're Coldwell Banker? Yeah. So you're used to, your platform has all of that in there. So postcards and greeting cards can automatically go out without you having to do anything. It just goes out.
So I've looked into about 7 different types of CRMs at this point, and the only one that has the complete package to include postcards and greeting cards is going to be your Market Leader.
Or it's called Inside Pro or Inside Pro. Yeah, which is the Coldwell Banker.
It's Market Leader.
It's Market Leader, yeah. But they wouldn't know the name. It's just white labeled. They just basically white label it.
Keller Williams.
Century 21 uses it. Better Homes and Gardens uses it. So they just name it different things, but it's called Market Leader, and they just white label it for those companies. So that's a really good one. And like I said, we can work with any CRM that you have. It's just a matter of finding if it doesn't do an integration, and if it doesn't, then we work around it. There's always a workaround. Yeah, absolutely.
Hi.
Hi.
I was listening the other day to a web seminar where they were talking about a particular company, I don't remember the name, but it's not a CRM, okay? But what they do is they personalize your postcard or your card, and with the font that it even look like it's your own handwriting.
Oh yeah. Thankster.
Yes, Thankster.
Thankster is located in New York City.
That's the other one that links up.
Yeah, I know
Get
them.
to the T.
But they also mail it for you.
Yeah,
yes.
they do. Yeah, it's
So
super
what-
expensive.
Thankster.
Thankster.
But it is super expensive,
I
because it's
understand.
fully personalized, and it doesn't have an automatic send, like you have to send it whenever you're ready. Like, so in a week, if it's gonna be there in a week, then you have to send it a week out. But I believe their wait time is like a month before you have to order it.
They don't write the content for you either.
No, they don't write the content.
You have to write the content. What they do is, which is pretty amazing. If you've seen I've seen their equipment. So they have an arm. Basically, you have your iPad and you write on your iPad. It captures your strokes and how your strokes are, and the computer turns that into an electronic, basically a replica of your handwriting. A little scary. Yeah. So there's a whole, like, you know how the web is right now. It is a little bit scary because we could technically, they have this handwriting analysis where they show that it is like spot on. I mean, it's like 99% of handwriting experts can't tell that it's not yours.
So let's hope that they don't get hacked.
Yeah,
Ever.
they don't get. You don't want them to get hacked.
I mean,
because they have your entire writing style in a computer. But
how did they work? I don't understand. You said that it takes a long time because, for example, I was just thinking about clientele that buys homes for $350 and up to send something so personalized.
Well, it's not. I think
my idea.
Right. Okay. My take on that is that personalization is not handwriting. So just kind of separate those two things out. Handwriting is handwriting. The content is king. So whether you have a machine do it, because the reason why it takes so long is because it's a pen in an arm, and they don't press them. This is not like they can do it like a screen press. It's an actual pen on paper that's writing for you. So that's why it takes a long time for them to produce, and they're very expensive to do so, and you're not going to be able to get it out in a timely fashion. So, but I'm not saying they're a bad service. They're a great service. It's just that you have to be very picky and choosy, and you have to write the content, because that is what it's about. Really, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you do a good job and you have a greeting card that's produced for you, and it's completely about you, and it's, when I say personalized, it's written for you. Like what we do is from an interview, we sit you down, we talk. We don't use templates. We don't fill in the blanks. This is not a Happy Grasshopper where you know, it's like a Mad Lib. You know, if anyone knows what Mad Libs are. Yeah, this is not that. I don't have a 100-question, questionnaire where you fill in the blanks. We have a writer who's got a degree in creative writing. We have multiple writers who will ask you a question and then goes deeper with that. Well, where did that lead? Almost like a little bit of a psychiatry or psychology, essence to this. We lead to the next thing. We weave story. So that is where I believe that's more valuable than the mere fact that you hand wrote it. If you're good at both and you got it going on, then thanks to all the way. But it's really, that's why realtors, we always say to them, leverage is super important in your business because it lets those who are good at what they do help you be good at what you do. So that's kind of how marketing works, is that you hire a professional who does only one thing and that's sole focus, and that leaves you to do your one thing. So, buyers, sellers, database, focus on your business, and then the things around it. I hire leverage. I hire Virginia. I can't do it myself.
What is the fee?
Well, we have one fee for it. Generally, don't people ask me that, so you got me a little off balance here. But it's something that we put into place for your business for the entire year. So it's a 12-month campaign. We meet with you for an hour or so, or more, depending how Stephen and my other writer take to speak with you. Develop the content takes about 3 weeks, writing, researching, putting it into your CRM. Then we meet with you and have an edit session. So everything for the entire year you're reading up front, no surprises, 3 months from now, you're going to know. You're going to approve everything, and anything that doesn't sound like you, doesn't resonate, you tell us, we change with you. You're completely involved, but you're not having to do the creative part. Take all of that, put it into the CRM. Now we put your contacts in as well. So if you've got, this is my contact expert.
I'm the tech person.
She is my tech, because that's what I'm saying, leverage.
I'm the analytical one. I'm not creative, so.
Yeah. So she'll take your phone contacts in your phone. She'll take your LinkedIn contacts. She'll take your Facebook. She'll put all of that into a spreadsheet. She's amazing. She puts everything on one spreadsheet. Now there's all your contacts. Your job is to just scroll through, eliminate anybody that you don't want in your database, and then send it back to us. All you're doing is deleting. We take that and we put it back into your CRM. All your contacts are there. So now you have no obstacle to why you're not reaching these people, because they're all there. And then we go and we set it live. And then we don't meet with you again for another 11 months. so we can start your campaign for the following year. But you have us as a resource for marketing in terms of you have a Facebook question. I don't do social media, but you have us. You want to throw by a video by us, you want us to critique it, we're here for you. You need us to help you with your CRM. Instead of calling the 1-800 number, you call us. She's got 7 under her belt, so you call us. We're your connection. And we always have...
Videos, commercial videos too?
No. Video has to be, in this 36 to convert, has to be authentic and genuine, your phone. Yeah, this is not about green screen, this is not about my makeup looks great and I'm the best kind of thing.
Okay.
This is just me, I'm the mom who's also the realtor and I'm running around just like you and I want to share my day with you. Yeah, George?
So, in going through this, because I have a scorching case of ADD, and for me to stay on point with this is my biggest challenge.
Sure.
I count...
42. 42 touches.
Well, no, but I'm also counting that I've got to make 6 videos over the course of the year and make phone calls, but the rest of it's done up front. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Your only task, your task, your ROE, we talked about ROE, your return on effort is you have to populate your just sold picture. It means you have to put a picture of a just sold in a template. That takes you 2 minutes, and you do that once a month. So you got 2 minutes once a month. Then every 58 days, you have a video that needs to go out. So you got to do a video, and you've got almost 60 days to get that done.
Who will remind me?
Oh, you're gonna have a reminder notification in your CRM. You're gonna have a paper a wall calendar, all color coded, telling you. So you can't mess up. You can't mess up. It's every 60 days. So that's it, and that's it. You have to do your own video. I can't do your video because they need to see you and hear you.
I'll do your video, George.
Yeah, we got Ted. Ted's expert. So Ted will do it.
And
we got you covered.
I do have fail safes in place in case.
Yes, we put in a placeholder video in your, just in case you never got around to video, we put a professional video in there so that it goes out and it has content.
Do you have programs especially for realtors that can work with and how much it costs them?
So we only work with realtors. This is all we do. Yeah, I'm super hyper focused. We only have one product and one product alone. So this is all I do all day long. Champagne.
An angel got its wings.
So I can tell you what it costs. So we have the program costs $1,875. So it's $1,875. That's all your marketing for the whole year.
How much?
$1,875.
$1,875. And that's for the
everything I just talked about. Everything.
Everything that you talk about.
The only thing you have to pay out of pocket above and beyond $1,875 is that we're not a printing company. I don't print cards. So the companies that you're going to be using, whether it's through the Coldwell Banker or the Keller Williams product or through Thankster or any of them, you have to pay the postage and you have to pay for the production of the actual physically printed card. So if you're using Coldwell Banker, the platform, or Keller Williams, that would be Market Leader, and you can get Market Leader if you're not one of those agents. Anybody can get Market Leader. It's 87 cents for postcards, and it's $2.67 for greeting cards.
$2.32.
Oh, 32 cents? Okay, $2.32. But you're only sending to your top 25 people, or your top 50. So you're not paying a lot of money. And the way we build it is that if for some reason that month it's time to send out a postcard and you just don't have the funds for whatever reason, I mean, it's not a lot of money, but it's our business. We put in where you can deactivate that month, that portion of it. We build in your CRM different portions, so it's all completely under your control. All the materials that we write for you as well, so you're going to have them up front. We deliver them all to you up front for the whole year. You can use those materials on Facebook, on the blog. It's yours, you own it. And they're proprietary to you. So I don't share with other agents what I write for you. So I'll write for George. No one's going to see George's material unless he gives me permission to use it in when I demonstrate to a potential client. But so that just everything is proprietary to you. Because everybody's different. What George, I'm going to write for George, may not resonate with you. So to show you what I did for George, bless you, is only going to give you format, but it's not going to get you like the content. You know what I'm saying? So creative companies, marketing companies, that's where our value comes in, is because that's our talent, that's our skill. So that's why you hire us to represent you and be your voice. So it's either we click or we don't. It's at that 1/3 rule. But we're here focusing solely on real estate agents. That's our only mission. So that's what we're here to do. Yeah, you're welcome. So we also have payment plans as well. So if an $1,875 upfront cost is not in your budget, totally fine. We could break that down into monthly payments over 12 months, which we have a little convenience fee. So it's like $175 a month or something like that. And then, yeah, it's like, so it's really inexpensive. And then you can do a 3-month program for just $635 a month. So there's a bit of a convenience fee there. But if for some reason you want to pay off, you paid 3 or 4 payments of $175, and you're like, hallelujah, I had like 4 closings this month, you can take the difference, and I'll just retro it back to the $1,875, so you're not paying a convenience fee any longer.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, I want to partner with you. I want to see you succeed. So that's what we do. But the honest to goodness is that if you know the 12-to-2 ratio, so for every 12 people converts to 2 people to business, $1,875 pays for itself in 1 closing.
Correct.
So, and it's the database, which we already talked about, 80% of your business. So it's foregoing $1,875 to potentially have 25 closings or 50 closings. I think it's a fair investment. Yeah.
I have one more question.
Sure.
This is for you. So basically, you have access to Facebook, phone, all that stuff, and you put together a list. We just pick out who we want in our
Yes,
database.
so basically what I do, I'll either ask you to pull it yourself, because some people won't give me their passwords. If you're comfortable giving me your passwords, I'll take everything. You can change them after I'm done, doesn't matter to me. I'll pull everything out. I'm never gonna use your contacts anyway. And I'll take all of them, I'll put them in one document. I will actually merge them before I send them back to you, so that, because sometimes you'll have a Facebook contact, a phone contact. One has a phone number, one has an email address, and they're on different lines. So instead of having to figure all that out yourself, I merge them for you. And then I send it back, and you go through it and pick out your top contacts, so who you want to get your postcards and your greeting cards, and then also your database contacts as a whole.
Yeah, so you're just basically deleting and then highlighting those people that you want your top 25 or top 50. That's really it.
I want to pick up 25.
I'm sorry?
And I only pick up 25?
No, you can pick as many as you want.
Oh, no, you can pick as many as you want.
But of course, the cost, it all depends. But it's a minimum of 25 with, actually,
Most
all but
providers.
one provider, it's a minimum of 25 in an order.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we say minimum 25.
But we did this exercise ourselves, and we went through our database, and we were able to, each one of us, have a different unique top 25. So if you're in a team, if you're working in a team environment, you absolutely, my top 25 is different than her top 25, because she interacts with different people than I do. So your top 25 is really people that you talk to the most, and you know are talking about you. So you'll be able to figure those people out really, really. It took me like, I don't know, 10 minutes to figure out my top 25 by going through my database. And one thing about, you say about passwords and the security. So she is a Marine. There's never such thing as a retired Marine. I've learned this. So
Yeah,
Virginia
once
is a Marine. So she worked in Iraq and Afghanistan, and she worked with generals. And so clearance for security is not an issue with this one. So just know your passwords and your database are safe with us. We have no need for your database. So we're marketers. We don't have anything to do with that. Yeah.
Can this be done as a team as opposed to just an
Absolutely.
individual agent?
Yes. So we work with a lot of teams, and this is how, from a management standpoint, as say I'm a team owner, I look at it 2 different ways. So I bring you on my team, and I expect you to grow my business by your database that you brought into the business. So I can either help you with that. So as the team owner, I can maybe incentivize you and say I will pay for half of a marketing program like this, because you still need to cultivate your database. That with Malcolm, you saw he had a team logo, it was Team Dynamo. So he's on a team, and several of his team members have reached out to us and worked with us directly. And the team owner is more than happy. He's like, absolutely, anything that's going to build your relationships with your database, Absolutely, as long as my team logo is on there, the contact information. So absolutely, I see it. Absolutely. So I'm just finishing his question. So absolutely, teams, it works out well. And then there's ways of having the team leader pay for that as well as an incentive. Stay you're with us for 6 months, I'll pay for half of it, or however that works. But absolutely, we can work with teams. Yeah, because that's really all you have when you bring it to a business. You're bringing your contacts. So you need to cultivate that. Yeah?
Do you offer your contacts in other languages?
Like what language?
Spanish, Portuguese.
Spanish, okay. Absolutely.
Spanish, Portuguese, we're still working.
Portuguese we don't have, but I do have Spanish. So I've had some clients, there is no other company, there's no companies doing Spanish. I'm sure you've looked. Nobody wants to because of the translation is very difficult because there's different dialects of Spanish.
Right.
So we have a writer who can write. We write in English, they translate it to Spanish. They're in-house. I don't like to hire overseas. I'm not saying anything against overseas. I just need quality control, so I need to physically see you in front of me. So I have a writer in-house who can do the Spanish translation of our creative. Absolutely.
Because the translation, it's so important, especially because you have to give the sense in the same way in any language.
Absolutely. So when we do that editing session 3 weeks later and we've had that translation done, we will have you read through it and you approve it. So absolutely, it's your communications, but it's got to be approved by you. Yeah?
I understand that you're saying a minimum of 25 top clients that you want this content to get every month.
Not all content, just the postcards and greeting cards.
Yeah,
Okay.
the high level touches. The high level.
As far as the whole content goes, that's your whole database.
Yeah.
The whole database.
Whole database.
Okay, so you can always add to that, right? If you
Yes.
That's what I like to know. You continually add because you're going to be getting more business throughout the year. So, but there was additional fee to that, just one flat fee.
No, one flat fee. There's some clients that'll check in with me every month to add in new members to their database. Then I have some people that'll check in every 3 months and say, here's my roster. Can you help me? It takes me all of 5 minutes to get it done.
Because as you're increasing, even with Facebook, if you're increasing your social network, that's going to rapidly change.
Sure.
Okay. And what about working with other realtors? In a sense, realtors with realtors. Do you also consider that being possible?
We'll put it this way.
Do you have it separate? That's kind of
No, I look at it this way. When it comes to 36 to convert, so you want to build your referral network, there is no reason why a 36 to convert database marketing plan wouldn't work for referral as well. Because when it comes down to it, they're going to recommend you? They're in Oregon, okay, and they're received. And they feel like they know you so much because of how much you've shared with them, same information you're sharing with your database, that you become top of mind to that agent. Because that agent is, once again, remove agent, their mom, their daughter, their sister, they're a person. So if you built a relationship, regardless if they're a realtor or not, you're top of mind. So yes, the referral will come to you. So material, content, okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else? Question? Well, we're here. I know we're going to do some tastings now, so you can enjoy some wine. I want to thank again Ashley. Thank you so much to her title. And they're going to do a drawing as well. And Ted Bogert for filming this. And please, Ted is with Columbus Lending, so he's here as well for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Did everybody get something out of it today?
Yay.
All right, good.